My name's Lou Ann. This is my husband Peter.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about, or we were just discussing, what does the dark night of the soul mean? And there's different traditions. We were just reading about the St. John of the Cross, who wrote a poem about dark night of the soul while he was imprisoned by his Christian brothers, and he was a Carmelite priest.
Yes, and he was put in a small room that had once been a latrine.
Really?
Yeah, and he was kept there and in the dark and not and just given bread and water.
And those of us that have gone to Catholic school,
We know what that's like.
we really do know.
We served our time.
We really had a dark night of the soul in school.
And probably, everyone out there in some way or another you've had your own dark night of the soul. There's, as Sogyal Rinpoche, the Buddhist teacher, says, there's rich people suffering and poor people suffering. So we should never be jealous of anyone if we think they have more than us, because they've probably suffered just as well. But yes, people have been asking me about the dark night and saying that they and their friends have been going through it. I have a client who calls me from Colombia, and he and his friends are experiencing the dark night. What is it? Well, it is this period of time where you feel lost and you're searching.
And abandoned.
And abandoned, just as John of the Cross must have felt abandoned in that prison.
And they said that loneliness is part of dark night of the soul. You feel very lonely.
Well, if you're abandoned, you're going to feel lonely. I work a lot with the archetypes, and in the archetype of the orphan, the abandoned child is very common. Most people feel that they were born into the wrong family, or that they were left as a changeling on the doorstep of somebody else. How did I get stuck with these parents? And yet, as we know, you chose those parents. It's all part of your dharma, which is a little different from karma. Karma is the result of your actions on earth, but your dharma is your duty. It's your role on earth. It's what we're here to learn, and we're all here in earth
Dharma
school.
is what you were here to do, like your destiny.
Yes.
So my dharma is to be a nurse, right?
Yes, that's what
That was my
you
dharma.
have to do. It's
Well,
your occupation in the ancient
it's more than
Hindu
an
tradition.
occupation.
Your dharma was your role in life. It was, if it was a warrior,
it was yours to do.
or a Brahmin priest, or a householder, or whatever it was.
Dharma. Nursing dharma.
And the dark night can take many different forms with that feeling of isolation. I was just telling Luann that my friend James Finley, who's a great, gives retreats on the dark night and is a great scholar of Christian mysticism, was telling the story of someone he worked with who was an alcoholic and whose family had begged him to stop drinking and to straighten out his life. And he did. He made that sacrifice, and he was telling Jim, I feel now that I've entered my dark night of the soul, because I'm every day, all I would want to do is to just have a drink at the end of the day, or several drinks, and I know that I'm not going to be able to do it. So for him to go through life without drinking, without the consolation of alcohol, was something that made him feel, in a sense, abandoned and lonely, even though he did it in order that he could be with his family and he could have a more fulfilled life. Now that's interesting, because in the archetypes we talk about the addict archetype, and all of the archetypes are neutral in the sense that they have light and shadow aspects, but it depends on how they apply in your life. And we all have all of the archetypes in what Jung called our collective unconscious. That as the human race, we have been born with these, just like we were born with certain chromosomes in our DNA.
Okay.